it sounds like everything is working like when I tried. So we're just gonna hope for the
Okay.
best. Worst case scenario, we're just having a great conversation, which we love
Oh
anyways.
no.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
this is great.
So I'm so happy that there is actually people in the call. I don't know how I can say that, but that's great. That's really the way I want to do it. It's
Mhm.
having other people being able to be here and witness, but it's just me having conversation with a friend. Yeah. So
Sounds great.
it's an episode. It's going to be a few episodes, but it's called Soulful Tangent, like I told you. It's a live conversation where I want to invite people I vibe with to, and it's also people I respect because that's very important in terms of me being able to have a conversation with someone without being a bitch. And to just, ask a few questions. Then we pull a card and we let that card kind of make the conversation unfold. Um, that series was actually inspired and born in a brainstorm with you when I started my business, like just doing that full time. And I had a
Mhm.
creative block, and everything very much came and hit me in the face. And that session really unlocked a lot of things. And I think the main thing that came out of it was this project in my head, and I really wanted to do it, and I really wanted to do it with you as my first guest because you helped me. So the most elevating conversation I had in my life are coming from conversation with friends, yes, but it's all people that are either healers, guides, or that have a certain sense of building community in a way or another. And it's often life-changing conversations, let's be honest.
Right.
So this conversation being usually private, I'm like, okay, how do we bring it here to life? I want us to speak about perspective. I want us to speak about how we experience things. I'm also very interested about spirituality in general. So you and me are quite aligned on that, but I really want to invite people from all kind of spiritual path, I would say. Um, Now, today I'm joined by Kay, aka HauntPunk Tarot, and I'm gonna let you speak for yourself, but I just want to say that you are someone that I value and that I'm very happy that you're here with me today because I feel like a lot can come out of those conversations, and with someone like you, it's gonna be even more interesting.
Mhm.
So, who are you in your word today? Just vibes? Tell me.
Vibes, no titles. So you sent me these questions. First of all,
Yeah.
I'm so happy to be here, and I'm so touched by what you said. Like, good. Like we barely started, and I'm already just a little misty.
I feel
Um,
like we're gonna cry. I don't want to lie, but I have a feeling.
hey, that's what we do. We
Yeah,
make people cry, but in the best possible way,
exactly.
right? Yeah. But when you sent these questions and the first one said, "Who are you in essence?" with no titles, and I went, "Oh, I love a challenge," because titles are easy, right? We're used to slapping labels on things. It's not like, "Who am I in essence?" So how about this? I am one possible future of the landscape that raised me. I am the desert, the mountains having a human experience. So I am vast, but also small.
I love that. I love that. And that's literally for people that might not know you. This
Mhm.
is what you give to me is always that you always telling me a story, and I get quite hypnotized when you talk. So if I end up like this at some point, guys, don't worry, it's normal. Um, how would you define your craft or discipline? What you do?
That's pretty simple. I metabolize pain into art. I bring beauty into the bleak.
Love it. Love it.
That's the job.
Oh. I just want to say those questions that I'm asking, they will always be the same for everyone that comes here. And see, just to make sure there's no surprise, people have time to prepare and say who they are. Um, and in fact, if I change the question not realizing, which wouldn't be impossible because I've got notes everywhere, just let me know. What's your favorite analogy and why does it resonate with you?
This is something that I like to say. This is literally my favorite analogy because it is one that I made up that I think about all the time. That every body is a library of Alexandria burning, which means that, right, every person that we meet, every person we've ever met, ourselves included, is a body of knowledge, a body of wisdom that is already on fire, right? Because we are all so transient. We are all so ephemeral. There's a limited amount of time we have to speak to each other, to listen to each other, to trade wisdom and to hand wisdom down, right? Everybody is a library of Alexandria burning.
That's deep. That's deep. And you see, I'm happy it's on camera. Do you know what I mean? Whew. Shit.
Off to a great start. This question 3.
Okay. How did spirituality first grab you or found you?
It seems like it was inevitable. As far back as I can remember, my evangelical family feared me for knowing things I was too young to know, including things that they tried to hide from me, but especially because I refused to keep terrible secrets for them. And eventually, my grandmother had enough of my spooky ways and tried to burn me for a witch. And as I patted the smoke from my hair, I looked her in the eyes and I said, "You can't burn fire." And that was the moment I accepted that I was a witch. So
Love that. In true Leo fashion. Love it.
yeah, truly, I got it tattooed on my arm. You can't burn fire.
I love it. That's a great tattoo. It's very clear. Love
Oh
it.
yeah. I had a Brazilian artist do it for me, and I swear he worked magic.
Amazing. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. When you're working, how do you come? How do you? What? Sorry. How do you connect with your? I literally write "com," like CUM, and I'm like, what do you mean? No.
Little
How do
help
you?
from my friends. So how do I connect with my creativity in my practice? It's easy. I just change my perspective.
Okay.
I try to look at things from angles that are easy to ignore or miss or take for granted. I really love to consider things from the future back to the present,
Yes, that's something you said
right?
in our call that was amazing. So please say it again because I need it. Everyone needs it.
I like to consider things from the future back to the present. In my own life, that looks like asking myself, especially when I'm in a puzzling moment, I don't know what to do, or I don't know how to act, or what to do with my feelings or whatever. I try and ask myself, who will I have wished I was? When I'm looking back on this time from the future, who will I have wished I was? Right? And then behave accordingly. With all the information I have at the moment, this stuff changes, but like to stand in the future
Yeah.
and look back to now and let what I want to be true later sort of guide what I do and the choices I make. It's the same thing with my creativity. It's the same thing with my witchcraft. I also like to question whatever authority is assumed. So whoever in the room is apparently the boss. Really? Are they? Why? Because that will tell us something about the space that we're in. It will tell us about the dynamics of power in play. It tell us about what is even possible, right? And then at the end of everything, every reading I do for myself, for other people, at the end of any like spell work that I do, at the end of any creative project that I do, or I make art or whatever, I like to ask myself and look for what's missing, but especially what's been excluded on purpose.
Okay, I like that. I really
Right?
like
Because
that.
that will make you be more creative.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Nice. What was the question I missed?
That was what I was looking at real quick. It was the fifth one, and it was, what childhood trait, moment, or experience still lives in your work today?
Yes, I did jump it. It's like, where is it? Is there?
Oh, it's okay. Look, we're winging it. We're doing it. This is a test run, and we're
Literally,
having a
it's my
good
first
time.
time.
It's your first time, but we're having fun though,
Yeah,
right? It's
I'm
like you
having a
said, we're
yeah,
telling a story together.
literally, literally.
So
So yeah,
the
tell
answer to
me.
that is actually grief.
Hmm.
It's loss, especially the years of my childhood that I spent unhoused. Um, all throughout my childhood and repeatedly as an adult, I've lost almost everyone and everything that was ever in my life. Um, I've grown very skilled at letting go and saying goodbye. And in the process, I've developed this queer and intimate relationship with time, transience, beauty, and death that informs almost everything I do now. My art, my witch work, my friendships.
Really love it. That's what I always say that we should be carrying those traits with us. Because when
Yeah,
we try to refrain, that's when it goes crazy. Remember when I was telling you last time, like I used to be told when I was a child, you're talking too much, and now as an adult, I'm scared to speak in front of
right,
people. When
right,
actually, well, now I'm trying to embrace it. Yeah, you're chatting, da 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 da. Fine, that's gonna be who you are. That's a trait that is yours. That's part of your person. So yeah. Blam blah blam. What's your favorite grounding method right now?
right now. I've been doing it this whole time. It's movement. I like motion. I like to move my body. I like to rock.
Mm,
I
yeah,
could do it anywhere, all the time. Who cares? It doesn't trouble anybody, and it can really like sink you back down and in and connected. That's what I do.
yeah. And it's funny that you use this one because yesterday I was doing groceries with my husband and I got very overwhelmed for different
Oh,
reasons. And
sure.
I stopped and I started touching my ears and just rocking. And he stayed in the corner for a little bit and then he came to me and was like, "You okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm getting okay." I'm,
Yeah, that's
I'm
it.
taking my time in front of the olive oil because why is it 11 euros for 70 centiliters? You know?
Mm,
What the hell? Um, but yeah, it's a very good one and we can do it all the time anywhere. That's
right?
great.
And it
Yeah.
loosens things up. It softens things up. It
Yeah.
allows us to receive again, but it also puts us like in our strength.
I love it. And then I believe the last question is, what's one thing people misunderstand about your path or your craft?
I had to write carefully when I was making notes about this because it would be very easy to be snarky or
Yeah.
overly specific. Let's try to speak a little more generally. But people like to think that this is easy. And because they imagine that this is effortless, they treat it like it's worthless. That is until they need someone to hold their heart or hold space while they're going through something that's real hard for them. Until then, they like to think I'm just over here doing whatever I want. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I relate.
Uh-huh. I knew you would. I knew you would.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, look, I love to have the chance to get to know more. I mean, I knew a little bit already, but it's
Yeah,
good
yeah.
to be able to share. I can hear the car behind. I'm going to close the window. Give me one sec. Rush time, rush hour time. So all the car, and I live
Mm,
close to a big street, so all the car like,
sure.
okay, guys.
Road rage.
Exactly. So now we're
Hmm.
gonna shift to the second part, which
Let's
is,
do it.
the whole point. Like, I mean, the reason why I'm here with you today, it is because of that set of 78 beautiful images.
That's
Because
right.
this is my life for the last, I would say, 5 to 6 years, and the cult been
Mm,
in my life for a good almost 2 years, I want to say now. Yeah.
yeah. Mm,
So tarot, we use the card that I'm gonna pull now just to start the conversation, and we
hmm.
let it flow. So
Sounds
I'm gonna
good.
take a few deep breaths just to land here. You can join me, guys, if you want to, because it's always good to take a deep breath.
Mm,
chatting about today? Chatting about today. Yes. 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 Two witches talking about the moon.
Two
On a full
witches talking
moon.
about the on a full moon. I was just thinking that thing woke me up very early this morning. I was
Like,
like, why am I awake? I was like, yeah,
yeah.
it would be a very witchy moon thing to do.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's a perfect card to have out. I have that song for the kids, you know. You can't go under it, you can't go above it. Oh no, you're gonna have to go through it. And so I'm always having that song as soon as it comes out, and I love singing it as well. So it always comes out
Mm,
in my readings, that's for sure. The two towers, you're gonna have to go through it. Like,
gonna have to go through. Oh, not just one tower, but two.
mm-hmm. Because you can't go back in the water here, clearly. What is this? Like, I'm always like, is it a
So
lobster? Is it a crayfish? Or is it just this sign of this Cancerian sign? Whatever it is.
yeah, well, that's the thing, right? There's not a right answer.
Yeah.
There isn't a right answer because this is tarot. We all get to contribute an answer. So I'm from a desert. For me, that would be a scorpion,
Oh, yeah.
right? That would be what you
Yeah.
find under a rock on a bad day, you know? That's
Yes.
going to get you in the dark. But also, right? Because again, this is the moon. It's supposed to be night, even though it's lit up so blue in the card. Like, what a vibe. Um, but this is our always dual nature. And I like to say at least dual because I don't believe in binaries.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're tricky,
Yeah.
right? Because there is always more than two things on the table. There's always more than two things in play. This idea of up and down, this idea of left or right, we forget about all of the other things in play, right? So this is a card that goes, here's convenient. You can integrate only two things, except the reality is much more complex.
Mm.
So even the offer of a binary itself is a little bit of an illusion, a little bit of a misdirection. And we have to remind ourselves to stay in it complexly enough
Mm-hmm.
to see the whole thing, or at least more of a slice than just two options, right?
Yeah, definitely. Because there's a spectrum there between that wolf
Hmm.
and that dog for me. It's like from the domesticated version of us, like the one that is just gonna, and the wild
Yeah,
one that will attack whatever. Where is it that I
right?
need to like kind of like slide on that scale kind of thing?
And we're never just light and shadow,
Yeah.
right? We even in monochrome, it's all of the shades in between as well,
Mm-hmm.
right?
True. Very, very true.
Right.
And
And in
tell me.
well, as you say, even in nature, all of these, because it's not just the wolf and the dog. The crayfish, the scorpion is also in play. We can't just talk about the difference in nature between what is domestic and what is wild. We also have to talk about the things that we're not talking about that are
Yes.
still in the room.
Yes. 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 What I love, and I think it's Hannah that mentioned it on a deep dive, is
Hmm.
the hermit profile
Yeah.
on that card here.
Yeah.
And the necessity, in fact, of letting that soul searching, that moment where you have to go deep to actually
Yeah.
have those conversations with yourself before you take whatever big step, before you do the thing that you have to do. Because for me
Yeah.
here, it's like you are on a path, you taking, if you don't want to stop, you will have to anyways at this particular moment. And
Yeah.
I'm wondering like how this energy is showing up for us as a collective right now, because the
Mm,
moon is, I mean, I don't know for you, but it's coming out in so many of my readings at the moment. And I'm always, when this is happening, I'm always like, this is for everyone in a way or another. Because there's a lot of
mhm.
uncertainty in that card, but it's also the idea of like we understand that what's it's happening like globally right now and how it resonates and affect our energies is
Mhm, mhm.
actually necessary for, it's like after the towers to rebuild, we're first gonna have to go down, down, and the fear being like
Yeah.
shit, it's coming, and you go like this with like both foot, you know, because you don't want to go toward it. Fucking
Well, right, it's a reckoning because it's the
yeah,
moon and it's a pool of water. It's the moon and its own reflection. It's the hermit and their own face, right? Coming to grips with who we are as a civilization, right? This isn't even just about one country or one hemisphere. Like, we are all having to reckon with what it means to be human, what it means to be connected to other humans, what it means to try and live in solidarity with people we can't be friends with, right? We don't even like, but we still share the planet with. Like,
Yeah.
how do we carry on, right? Like this. With, and it's a profound reckoning. For a lot of us, we're flipping over, right? We're turning over. We're turning on ourselves. We're turning on each other. We're so uncomfortable that we mistake our discomfort for suffering.
Mm.
And then we
This is gonna be cut and it's gonna be in a fucking short on Instagram, because that's that. Can you repeat it again, please? Just-
we're so uncomfortable in this reckoning we're having with reality right now and what it means to be human, what it means to live in solidarity with people we don't even like and can't even be friends with. We are so uncomfortable in this reckoning with our own reflection as human beings that we are mistaking our discomfort for suffering. We are so afraid of our own reflection that we're swinging at ourselves, right? Like, when people fight each other, we're just fighting ourselves on repeat because we're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So we will cause ourselves suffering by dehumanizing each other, making excuses for our worst behavior, when all we really need to do is like, okay, look, everybody gets home safe, everybody eats, everybody has a place to stay. We good? We good? Like, that's it. That's enough. That's all it takes to handle all of this. But instead, we have to confront ourselves in this watery mirror. Thank you, Moon. And we don't like what we see. Because, of course, we don't like what we see. Look what we've been doing with civilization. Look what we've been doing to each other. We're going to have to reckon with that and be like, damn, we fucked up.
Yeah.
Time to do an about face.
And it's like, it's coming anyways. You can't go back in there. Just again, like, it's just, that's it.
Yeah.
Do you think your relationship to that concept, in fact, has changed over time? And if yes, in which way would you say?
Yeah, it has, because I was not brought up to think this way. I was raised by people who wouldn't allow me to talk to somebody like you, Orly. I wasn't allowed to have friends who had dark skin. I wasn't allowed to speak to people whose first language wasn't English. I wasn't allowed to learn, like, half the people in my town spoke Spanish as a first language. I wasn't allowed to learn it. There was a whole world of people I was not allowed contact with. I wasn't allowed to know queer people. I wasn't even allowed to hang out with very disabled people unless they were quite old, right? Nobody with a viewpoint very different from that of the people who raised me was allowed anywhere near me, because I was already trouble, right?
Yeah,
like, I already
yeah.
figured a bunch of this stuff out. I was like, yeah, I don't know. You tell me that people with dark skin aren't really human, but like, I don't see that. There is no evidence for that. So make it make sense, or I'm going to call you a liar. And that was a big problem in my family. It meant I was disobedient, and I was a disobedient girl. Like, spoiler alert, I'm also
But so
not a
can I
girl.
ask, what's their religion?
Evangelical Christian. They were Mormons.
Okay.
Like a very tight, tiny subsect of Mormons. But essentially, that all-American white evangelical Christian that was like, everybody who's different is bad and wrong, and you just have to take my word for it, or you're bad and wrong, and you're actually worse than them because you knew better. And the whole time I'm just going, but make it make sense. Prove it. Give me real evidence that this is not a human being that I'm trying to speak to. That the words that they write in books are somehow less valid than the words that you wrote in a book, that their experiences are inherently false, but ours are inherently true. Make it make sense. If you can't make it make sense, then the fight is over here.
Yeah.
Right. So I was brought up to hate everybody different than me. In fact, to hate people who were the same as me, because it turns out I was queer. It turns out that I was definitely going to be disabled after all of that, right? That I was, right? Like all of this, I was brought up in loathing and I refused it. But you don't say, hey, that doesn't sound right. Hey, I don't vibe with that. And then, like, magically, everything that's been put in your head from birth gets fixed and sorted out and corrected. You spend your life finding new ways. You go, oh, I didn't realize I was carrying that around. That's gross. That's clearly wrong. Look at all the evidence, because now I'm an adult. I'm out in the world and I encounter the evidence and I go, oh, damn, I was wrong. I have to change my mind. But a lot of people don't want to do that. They go, oh, damn, I was wrong. The last thing I'm going to do is change my mind.
Yeah.
No, I'll just change my mind. I would rather live and have an experience in a life that is based in reality.
Yeah. But it very much is that. And I guess that for you to be able to continue that path, you had to pass the towers. You had to
absolutely
fuck out. Like you had to go through those events that we know, because there's a lot of that with the moon as well. It's like, I know I need to pass the towers, but I don't know what's behind. And even though we've got that sun moon kind of thing, so we know in a way, because it's also intuition, the things that we can feel and what flows. So you like,
the thing is, right, this is something I had to come to grips with when I was very young, because it was not a guarantee that I would live to see adulthood. It was not a guarantee that I would live to make it out of that situation, right? In fact, I was promised that I would not. They would not allow me to live long enough to leave, right? But what I came to grips with as a young person is that the future has always been a trust fall. You have to throw yourself into it. You have to hurl yourself into it, because you're falling into it anyway.
yeah.
And you're falling backwards, right? You just have to surrender to the future. I was unwilling to stay where I had been put. Like, this is a fact about me. If you know me for very long, you're my friend, you're going to hear me say this again, time and time again. Every time you think you've put me in my place, remember, you will never find me where you left me. The future is a trust fall. So
that future is a trust fall and going backwards.
right?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I say I would hold you hostage for half an hour, and I'm always saying, like, I can talk so much about cards in general. Is there anything else of that picture, that image, that we didn't kind of mention or jumped on? Oh, the mountains at the back, I'm guessing. Idea, like,
Well,
you can see them, but I don't know how far they are, how big they are. Technically, if you're equipped properly, it should be fine.
but look at them too. They also kind of blend in with the sky in the background. So are they a mirage? Like, nothing is promised over there, right?
Yeah.
We can't see anything clearly from where we're standing, especially since we're back to front.
Yes.
Like in the moon. So don't count your chickens before they're hatched. Don't define the future before it gets here.
Yes.
And that's the other thing about the moon, right? When we draw any tarot card is a mirror. A mirror is a mirror is a mirror. But we're not promised any particular view. So the idea of divination as predictive, all that precisely, is itself a bit of a misdirection.
Yeah.
Right? Because this is about how we orient ourselves to mystery, this card, and uncertainty, as opposed to how do we predict what's coming for us.
Yeah.
Like this card is always an invitation to expand our capacity to tolerate not knowing.
That's literally that. It's like, I'm always saying, like, ask yourself how comfortable you are with the unknown. That's very much that. How comfortable are you? Because it is uncomfortable. I'm always like, ooh, spooky.
Yeah. Absolutely. And this is our job as witches. We deal with this every single day. We turn that card over. We don't know what's coming for us.
Literally.
And we do it anyway.
Literally not gonna do it anyway. Just have this meme in my head. Okay, well, I at first I'm really enjoying this, but I'm also like, you're so good. Who am I gonna invite after? You know, I need to invite. I
You've
need
got
to
options.
invite someone that either does something completely different or another great tarot reader. I mean, we've got a lot around, so I'm sure, you know,
You've got so many
if anyone
options.
want to do that with me, it's great. I like it.
And it's such a good time. Like,
Yeah,
put yourself out there, sign up because this is a great time. These are great conversations. And Arlie's really good at what she does. Gets you right here.
yeah. That's the thing is like it stays soulful. We're going on a tangent. We talk about everything that passes. But it's really, I mean, it's soul collections. That's also something to keep in mind
Yeah.
is that people will ask, they come, and do we have a soul connection? You know, I know nobody that doesn't have it won't contact me. But I wanted to ask, where can people find your work if they want to connect further with you?
So you can find me on Instagram at HauntPunk. That's straightforward. You can also find me on my website at, just want to make sure I have the right one because I have a few of them. I want to send you to the wrong, hauntpunktarot.com.
Perfect. I would put it
Yeah,
anyways on the caption everywhere.
yeah,
Look, thank you
absolutely.
so much for this conversation. It was
You're
lovely to
welcome.
have you with me for the first episode of Soulful Tangents. For
Thank
anyone that is
you.
gonna watch the video, see you soon. À bientôt. And we might stay a little bit to have a little bit more chat. And I might unmute. I don't know if people are mute or no.